It's so crazy how much power you give over to people. One person says one wrong thing, or someone's talking about you, and you give them so much control over the rest of your day, over your mood, over your work ethic. And yet you're the same person that's like, no, what people say about me, it doesn't really matter. I don't really feel affected by it. But you're also the same person that gets affected when someone talks bad about you or someone has a rumor about you. And it's one thing to be like, oh, well, I want to defend myself. And it's another thing to be like, I just want to react to prove people wrong. When I think about how people were in like high school, when there was a rumor going around, there was always two people. There was rather the person that was like, I need to tell everyone and whoever started the rumor that this rumor is false. And then you have the other person that's like, look, I already know the truth, so there's no point in me trying to go around wasting my energy and wasting my time trying to prove everyone wrong and tell them what is right. And so be the person that's like, look, people are going to talk about me, people are going to do whatever, but at the end of the day, I know who I am, I know what the truth is, and I'm just going to stand on that. And so, when it comes to a lot of people trying to figure out what to give their value to and to what people are saying, I think that it comes to a very strong point of understanding that what everyone says about you isn't always going to be good, and it's not also going to be true. And the thing is that a lot of people, when they try to get under your skin, especially in today's society, it's so easy because people are so sensitive, especially on social media. People comment, people don't like your pictures, and all of a sudden it's a big problem, right? People don't share your videos, people don't support you the same way, and it's like such a big problem. But the thing is that you have to understand that people aren't always going to support you. People aren't always going to be there for you. And so understand the circle that you're dealing around, because those are the same people that will also uplift you or try to downplay you. And I know by myself that, being around family and being around friends, you're going to have those people that's going to try to downplay you, downplay your success. You're going to have those type of people that try to talk down to you just so that they can look better in front of other people, and then try to, uplift you in private, if they will. And it's hard because you try to find the people that know how to play their role of being able to be this good, supportive person, and then behind your back, they're also the person that's like, yeah, Elijah's not really all that. Like, I know that he does this and this and this, and that he talks about this and this, but he doesn't really do this and that. And they'll be the same person that go behind your back. And so you got to be real cautious because, even for your family, I know a lot of people, they trust their family, but like they've been there for the whole time. So, depending on the people that become envious or the people that don't want to see you be successful, they'll try to downplay your success and be like, look, remember when you were here? Remember when you did that when you were younger? You remember when you tried this and that failed? And the thing is that they'll be so quick to like point out the failures instead of pointing out the good things about you. Instead of pointing out, hey, I'm proud of you. Hey, I'm proud of you for working hard and trying to overcome the things. Remember where you did start and now you're here. Instead of it being like that, they're the same type of people that's going to be like, yeah, remember where you were? Yeah, that's who you are, right? And they try to keep you there. And so you have to be careful where you put your power into, because a lot of people, they try to bring you down. They're going to see that you're trying to be someone, that you're trying to become something, that you're trying to become successful and be the change for you. And yet they're the same type of person that will try to keep you at that same level that they want to hold you to, or at the same level that they're at. And so be careful of who you give that type of control and that power over to. And the thing is that, what I like to tell my little sister all the time, because, our siblings kind of just pick on each other, right? And I remember when I was younger, I told her, I said, the reason that I enjoy picking on you is because I know that it affects you. The reason that I enjoy like saying certain things or playing around with you in a certain way is because I know that it affects you. But I know that if it didn't affect you, it wouldn't be as fun for me. And I think that's how life is. It's like people know how to get under your skin. People know how to pick at you and how to nag at you. But if it didn't affect you and you was like, whatever, it wouldn't really be affecting you as much, and it would be boring for them. Because I know for me, like if someone talks about me and they're like, hey, that red doesn't really look good on you, or like those glasses don't really look good on you, I'd be like, okay. Or like, whatever people say, I just don't really, it doesn't really affect me. Like I do what I do because I like it and I know who I am. And so the thing is that when you're trying to find your identity and who you are, don't try to find it in other people trying to validate everyone else. Because if you're trying to be like everyone else, to fit into every single comment and trying to fit into every single opinion of what people think about you, then you're going to be who they want you to be regardless. And at the end of the day, you're going to be the person that's lost. And you're like, who am I? And so don't be that type of person. Refrain from trying to understand everyone else's perspective on you and just be who you want to be. Of course, be who you want to be in a respective way. Don't be like, I'm just going to be me and this is who I am, and be that in a super bold way. But try to understand the good morals and the good characteristics that you want to have outside of what other people are putting onto you. Plus, the value that you gain and you understanding who you are, not a lot of people know that. Or not a lot of people know how to do that, because they're so stuck on trying to be enough for everyone else, trying to be enough for their parents, trying to be the bigger sister, the bigger sibling, trying to be the better cousin, the better friend, the better teammate, whatever the case is, and they lose who they are trying to fit into everyone else. People go to college, they come back, and they're like, oh, I know who I am, I know who I want to be. But the moment that they're by themselves, they're like, yeah, I don't really know who I am, because I was trying to be all these characters for everyone else. That now that I'm just me, I don't know what type of character I want to be for myself. I'm so used to playing a role to all these other people that now that I'm by myself, I just don't know who I even am. And that's not a place that you want to be, because then you start being lost. You start trying to fit into everyone else's standards and you start losing who you are. I think that a lot of those things, they stem from trying to give power and try to give a lot of influence into other people to persuade what you want to do, to persuade how you want to act. For me, I'm never really big on influencing or persuading, unless if it's in the right way. Like in high school, I've said this before, in high school, a lot of people will be like, just try to smoke, just try to drink, like just try it one time. You only live once, right? You're young, you're in high school, like what's it gonna do for you? Just know what you do and don't like, just give it a try. And for me, I was never the type of person that was like, you know what? I'll just try to vape one time. I'll just try to smoke one time. I'll just try to do this one thing one time. I think that if I were to give those things a try, just to do it one time, that my entire trajectory of life could have changed. All of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? That wasn't that bad. Now I'm hanging out with the wrong crowds. I'm at the wrong places. I could end up killed. I could end up, in jail, all because I was like, you know what? Let me just try this influence of someone else's opinion of what they think I should do. And I think that was one of my major things of why I didn't want to start. It's because I was like, look, I'm gonna start this thing and I'm gonna get addicted, or I'm gonna end up in the wrong crowds, I'm gonna end up in the wrong places, and I just don't want to go that route. And for me, that was really big. That was big enough for me. That was big enough for me to not even start, for me to not even want to start. And I still haven't started to this day. So you got to be careful of who you give that influence to, who you give that power to, because the people around you, they might not always be the best for you. They might not always be the biggest supporters, and who knows that they might be the biggest snakes. They might be the biggest person that knows a lot about you, and then they go behind your back and they start telling everyone else your business. I'm sure, especially in high school, people have had that before. You have this best friend, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, they're not cool anymore. What happened? And now this other person knows so much about you that they can just go and tell other people. Now, I'm not saying that don't be, vulnerable with people and all that type of good stuff, but you just got to be careful of who you're being vulnerable with, who you're trusting with yourself, who you want to go tell your business to, and kind of moving from there. So yeah, you guys, it's real simple. I just say, don't fall into other people's opinions. Don't fall into other people's thoughts about you and their perspectives of who they want you to be. Because at the end of the day, it's just you. It's just you and God is trying to create who you want to be and who he wants you to be. But you have to be around the right people, doing the right thing at the right time, and moving from there. So that's really all I got for you guys in this video. Hey, I know that everyone has been in a situation where you've fallen into trying to outweigh your own opinions and other people's thoughts about you. And so I'm curious, how do you guys like to usually manage that type of mindset, to be like, look, I'm just going to do whatever I want to do? Or what's an experience that you've gone through where you're like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have listened to this person. Let me know in the comments. But follow me on socials, King Malone. I will be there. I'll be active. I'm always posting about things on there. And until then, I will catch y'all in the next video. Go on.